On tonight's edition of The Overtime, high school baseball is in full swing. We'll take a look at the local teams. We'll also check out the softball teams of Coconino and Flag High as their seasons get going, and catch you up with NAU men's and women's basketball as they both try and finish strong before the conference tournament. All that and more on this edition of The Overtime. Thank you for joining us and welcome to this edition of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I am your host, Sean Clark, and I am joined by sports reporter Jasmine Navarette. Jasmine, how are you doing tonight?
Thank you, Sean. I'm very excited to be here. We have so many things to talk about, so let's get started.
Let's discuss our first topic of the night, high school baseball. Starting off with the boys of Flagstaff High, this team last year achieved a 16-13 record with senior shortstop Drew Healy leading the way. This year, they have started out 0-2 as of Wednesday and are without their star shortstop who graduated last spring. Jasmine, what can you expect from this year's edition of the Flag High Eagles?
Well, Sean, the Eagles lost their first game at the Adam Donenfeld Invitational against the Westwood Warriors, 0-12. They were unable to continue the tournament due to the weather. But like you mentioned, they do not have their star shortstop, Drew Healy, but they have other players that are huge assets to the team, such as junior Stephen Canizales. Canizales averaged a .435 batting average and had 10 stolen bases last season. He is a junior and has 2 more seasons with the Eagles, so I am excited to see how he continues to improve this year. I am confident the team can come up with a couple runs against their next opponent of the season, the Rushmore Mountain Bears, this upcoming Tuesday, March 5th.
Absolutely, Jasmine. I am also going to keep an eye on senior first baseman Josh Morrow, who played quarterback and linebacker for the Eagles football team. As for the Coconino boys, they are coming off a disappointing 13-16 season despite having star senior Jake Pleckus. So far this year, they are 1-2, and they have a senior-heavy squad with returning starters Ty Walters, Tanner Mickelson, Ty Furr, and Tyler Tapia. Walters will be the key player, as last year he had a .329 batting average with 16 RBIs. They already have one victory against Agua Fria last week, so with any luck, the seniors can help improve on those 13 wins a year ago. Transitioning to the ladies, Coconino softball is ready to play ball this season. They are coming off a solid 18-14 campaign. Jasmine, what can we expect from the Lady Panthers as Kimberly Dennis will manage her 9th season for the team?
Yes, Sean, the team currently sits at number 3 in the region due to their solid record last season. The Panthers were set to compete at the Sunrise Mountain Tournament, but due to the weather once again this past week, they too were unable to compete. They got a win in their first game against Thunderbird on Tuesday, and they will play their first Grand Canyon regional game against Lee Williams on March 4th. Key players on the Panther roster this season are senior Taylor Brown and junior Brooklyn Wong. A year ago, Brown posted .446 batting average and Wong had 14 stolen bases. And with the coach like Kimberly Dennis that has passion for this team, I am positive that she will carry that energy into her 9th season.
Jasmine, I too am excited to see that passion play out this season for the Lady Panthers. As for the Lady Eagles of Flag High, last season they posted a disappointing 11-17 mark, but let's hope for improvement this season. Moving from the diamond to the track. The NAU track and field team heads to Birmingham, Alabama for the NCAA Indoor Championships beginning on March 8th. They have had a successful season so far. Jasmine, what can we expect from the Lumberjacks as the championships approach?
Well, Sean, the Lumberjacks have been looking very good this season. The men's track and field program won their 21st championship title for the Big Sky Indoor Conference this past weekend in Bozeman, Montana, setting a Big Sky record of 8 straight titles. The team has excelled in the shot put competition, finishing with the top 5 finisher earlier this month at the Don Kirby Invitational. And now they are headed to the NCAA Indoor Championships. The team definitely has what it takes to win another title. Not to mention, they have the 2019 Big Sky Indoor Men's Most Valuable Athlete, 3,000-meter and mile runner Blaze Farrow. Sean, for me, NAU is going to be a tough team to beat.
Absolutely, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with down south. And you mentioned Blaze Farrow. He has been excellent this season. As for the women's side, they finished third in the Big Sky with 75 points, including thrower Matilda Rowe, who finished fourth in the shot put with a 14.5-meter throw on her fourth attempt. I'm excited to see how well they perform on the national stage. Now for our last topic, let's discuss NAU men's basketball. This team had an up-and-down Big Sky campaign after struggling mightily in the non-conference portion of their season. They sit at a conference record of 7-10, but an overall record of 9-18. Jasmine, with the Big Sky tournament soon approaching, what can NAU do in their final 3 games on the road to prepare for the Big Sky tournament?
Well, Sean, NAU men's basketball has struggled this regular season. As you said, they sit with a conference record of 7-10. They lost their last game against Eastern Washington last Saturday with a final score of 86-73. They only have 3 games left of the season, with their next game on Saturday facing off against Montana State. Now, the Lumberjacks have faced them before back in December and won with a score of 74-68. If NAU can put up some points early on in the game and keep the offense going, then they can definitely finish the season strong. They also have the advantage of having played these teams before, so we're all rooting for NAU to come out with that W.
Indeed, Jasmine. Let's hope NAU can get that W against Montana State. As for the women's team, they sit in a similar position as the men's team with a record of 9-17 overall. They're also 5-12 in the Big Sky Conference as their only path to the NCAA tournament. They too have 3 games left before the conference championships. But unlike the men, all 3 games are at home, so it'll be a huge opportunity to build momentum for a chance at the big stage. They host Montana State on Saturday at 2 p.m.